Good morning, students. This is KG Misra with a new video of class ninth on the chapter Motion. In the last video, we have discussed about the average speed and its different cases and some graphical representations also. Here, I'm there with the new topic, that is velocity. Now, before starting this topic, I would like to remind you again, this is the lockdown period. So please take care of yourself and your family and take care of the advices given by the medical fraternity. Okay. And keep on studying for your betterment. Okay. So this is velocity. Now, what is velocity? Start writing first. Write the definition. Displacement covered per unit time is called velocity. That is displacement covered per unit time is called velocity. Okay. Now, what is displacement covered per unit time is called velocity. Okay. Now, see, it is a vector quantity or scalar because see, it is displacement is coming. It is a vector quantity. Time is a scalar quantity. As you have got one vector quantity, so what we find? It is a vector quantity. Okay, comma, denoted by V. Okay, and has SI unit, meter per second. That is the SI unit. Now see, in simple language, what you can say, no, velocity is nothing but speed plus direction. Okay, simply we can just for understanding we can say that no, velocity is speed plus direction. Okay, so what is velocity? Velocity is speed plus direction. For understanding, okay, we have written it is denoted by V and has SI unit, meter per second. Okay, now this was for understanding, that is speed plus direction. Now if we remove this, it is given by, it is given by velocity is equals to displacement upon time. That is there. Velocity is equals to displacement upon time. Okay. Now, this velocity is equals to displacement upon time, and the units and everything you know. Okay. So next is instantaneous velocity. Now see, what is instantaneous velocity? Okay. See, velocity of a body at a point of time or position is called instantaneous velocity. That means, see, suppose you are riding in a car and car is moving towards east direction, okay, with a having speed of 50 meter per second. So, speed is there 50 meter per second, direction is there, you are moving towards the east, okay, and now you saw your watch and you found that at around 10, 12, 18 am, the speed of your vehicle was how much? Suppose you found it is 80 meter per second towards east. Okay, so this velocity will be known as instantaneous velocity because this velocity you found at this time. Before this time, it may be there or may not be there. It may be less than this or maybe more than this. Okay, after this time, we can't say anything. It may be same or maybe more or maybe less. But at this time, this was the velocity. So that's why it is called instantaneous velocity. Okay. So this is with respect to time. Now, with respect to position also, we can say instantaneous velocity is there. Like see, suppose you are riding in your car and moving towards east, okay, with certain velocity, okay, it is going on. And what happens? You found a electric pole. While crossing the electric pole, what you found? The velocity of your vehicle was, suppose, 120 meter per second, okay, and direction was east. So you can say your velocity, instantaneous velocity, when you was crossing this pole was how much? 120 meter per second towards east. Okay. So instantaneous velocity means velocity of a body at a particular point of time or at a particular point of position while moving. It's called instantaneous velocity. Okay. Once you cross this pole, your velocity may be different or maybe same, maybe more, maybe less. Before crossing this, velocity of your vehicle may be more, maybe less. Okay, might be equal. We can't say. But at this instant, when it was crossing this pole, then this was the velocity. So these velocities are called instantaneous velocities. Okay. Okay. Next is average velocity. Actually, see, when we require this average velocity, when the body is not moving with constant velocity, no, its velocity keeps on changing during the journey, during the motion. Then what we do? Then we used to find the average velocity because we cannot record all the velocities and present a list if someone is asking with what velocity you have come over here, or with what velocity you are driving, or with what velocity you are traveling. So we find the average velocity straight away. Okay. Now what is average velocity? You can see here the ratio of total displacement covered to the total time taken is called average velocity. It has a vector quantity denoted by VAV. AV means it is initial of average, okay, and has SI unit meter per second. Okay, so in this way we represent average velocity. Now, after this, what we can write? It is given by, okay, the average velocity is given by what? Okay. See, I'm writing over here. Average velocity is given by V average is equals to total displacement covered and total time taken. Okay. So average velocity VAV is equals to total displacement covered upon total time taken. Okay. In symbols, what you can write? If you're writing in symbols, so what you can write? You can write like this. V average is equals to S by T. Okay. Average velocity is total displacement covered upon total time taken. Okay. Now, velocity can be of two types. Okay. First is uniform velocity. Okay. Okay. So next is uniform velocity. Okay. We also call it uniform motion. Okay. Both are same things. Uniform velocity or uniform motion. Now see, when we can say the body has got uniform velocity, when a body covers equal displacement in equal intervals of time, okay, in a particular direction. See, direction is very important. Direction is also not changing, and body is covering equal displacement in equal intervals of time. Okay. However small the intervals may be, this is very important. Even if you are going to make the intervals smaller, suppose you have, while observing, no, first you took the interval of suppose 5 seconds. One of the observers, suppose there were 4 observers, A, B, C, D. A was taking time interval of 5 seconds, and each 5 seconds he found that body is covering 100 meter, 100 meter, 100 meter, 100 meter. Okay. Suppose B has made that interval smaller. B is taking the interval of 1 second, 0 to 1 second. Okay. And again he has taken suppose 1 to 2 second, 2 to 3 second, and he got that in all the intervals body has covered equal displacement. Okay. Observer C has taken a interval of suppose 0.1 second, 0 to 0.1 second, 0.1 to 0.2 second, okay, like this, and he got that in all the intervals the body is covering equal displacement. Okay, then we can say that body is having uniform velocity or body is having uniform motion. Okay, then body is said to have uniform velocity. Okay, then body is said to have uniform velocity or uniform motion or constant velocity. Okay, okay, in case of uniform velocity, no, suppose initially velocity of the body is u and finally the velocity of the body is v. So what you will find? U will be equal to v because velocity will not change, direction will not change, and magnitude also will not change because body is covering equal displacement in equal intervals of time. Okay, even you make the intervals smaller, then also it will cover equal displacement in equal intervals of time. Okay, so we can say the velocity remains constant. So initial velocity is equal to final velocity. Okay, so velocity does not change. In this case, we can draw the graph of uniform velocity. Suppose this is x and this is y and this is the origin. Here we have taken time. Here we have taken displacement. Okay, time we have taken in seconds. Displacement we have taken in meter. We got a graph something like this. Okay, this is the graph for uniform velocity. This is the graph for uniform velocity. Okay, see, if you take certain time, in this much of time, the displacement has covered in this much. You take the equal time. Suppose this much equal time you will take. Okay, and again you will join like this. You will find again equal displacement is covered. Again you will take equal time. Okay, you will find equal displacement is covered. Okay, so in each equal interval of time we found equal displacement is covered. So this is the graph for uniform velocity. Okay, suppose see, questions are asked on this graphical part. Okay, suppose this is given like this. This is x, this is y, here origin. Okay, here time is given in seconds, and here displacement is given in meter, and you have been asked that there are four bodies A, B, C and D, and someone asks you that okay, they all are moving with uniform velocity. Now which is moving with the smaller, lesser, least velocity, and which is moving with the most velocity, or whose velocity is higher and whose velocity is lowest. Okay, so see here how to find that whose velocity is higher or highest. See, for that you have to look up to this angle. So which is going to make more angle with x-axis? Obviously A. So if the velocity of body A is VA, we can write. If the velocity of body B, we can write VB. Velocity of body C, we can write VC. And velocity of body D, we can write VD. So which is making more angle? Obviously A is making more angle. So velocity of body A will be highest. And then what you will find? Which is making the second largest angle with the x-axis? Obviously it is B. So velocity of body B. Now which is making the third largest angle with the x-axis? It is C. So its velocity will be VC. Now, and which is making the smallest angle? That is D. So its velocity will come here over here. Okay. So in this way you can say that which body is having largest velocity and which has got the smallest velocity. Okay. So A has got moving with higher velocity or maximum velocity, and D is moving with the minimum velocity out of these. So this is the decreasing order of their velocities. If it is asked to write the increasing order, you can write it inversely and you will get the result. Okay. Okay. Next is non-uniform velocity or non-uniform motion. Okay. So see, when a body can have non-uniform velocity or non-uniform motion, obviously when either body is not covering equal distance in equal intervals of time, or body is covering equal displacement, okay, in unequal interval of time. Okay, one you have to make unequal. Either displacement is unequal in equal intervals of time, or displacement is equal but intervals are unequal. Okay, then we can say that body having non-uniform velocity. Or even one third possibility is there. Obviously, body is covering equal displacement in equal intervals of time, but the direction of motion of the body keeps on changing. Then we can say that the body is having non-uniform velocity or non-uniform motion. Why? Because see, velocity is a vector quantity. Even the direction changes, then also velocity changes. Okay, and that's why if velocity is changing, then how it can be uniform? How it can be constant? No, it can't be. So even if the direction is changing, then also we can say that velocity is changing. Okay, and so body is having non-uniform velocity, and the motion is also non-uniform. I think you got it. Okay. Now see, in case of non-uniform motion or non-uniform velocity, velocity can be of two types. Either velocity will be increasing. See, this is the graph for increasing velocity. Because see, you can see here, in a particular time interval, the displacement covered is this much. Okay. Now, if you take the same time interval, what you will find? The displacement is this much. You can see this is more than this. If you take the same time interval, what you will find? The displacement is even more. So what you find? In the same time interval, the displacement is increasing. So this indicates that velocity is increasing. Now what you find here? In the same time interval, you have taken time interval in that this much displacement is covered. Okay. If you take the same time interval, let's see how much displacement is covered. Okay. See, this displacement is less than this. If you take the same time interval, let's see what happens. Displacement covered is even less. So here, in this case, what you find with the same time interval, the displacement covered is increasing. So this is increasing velocity. Okay. Here, in the same time interval, you find the displacement covered is decreasing. So this is decreasing velocity. Okay. So one case, velocity is increasing. Another case, velocity is decreasing. And these are the displacement time graphs. See, displacement time graph is there. Okay. Clear? So we got the graph for the uniform body having uniform velocity. We got the graph for the body having increasing velocity. We have got the graph for body having decreasing velocity. Okay. Okay. So here next topic is acceleration. Okay. So how can we define this acceleration? The rate of change of velocity is called acceleration. Okay. What is the meaning of rate of change of velocity? That means the pace with which the velocity is changing. Okay. That is called acceleration. If the velocity is changing slowly, okay, changing means it may be increasing or decreasing. We are not talking about it. Okay, it's not clear. So it may be increasing or decreasing, whatever it is. If it is changing slowly, if it is increasing, then it must decrease slowly. If it is decreasing, then it is increasing. It is decreasing slowly. Then we can say its acceleration is less. And if it is increasing and it is increasing faster, then we can say its acceleration is more. Okay. So when the change in velocity is faster, then acceleration is more. When the change in velocity is slower, then acceleration is less. Okay. And now it is a vector quantity denoted by small a and has SI unit meter per second square. Okay. After this, what we can write? It is given by A is equals to V minus U by T. Okay. Now, you might be wondering what is this U and what is this V and okay, time you know it is very well. Okay, you are very much familiar about this time T. See, suppose you are observing a car. Okay, and once the car came to your sight, what you found? You found that the initial speed which you observed, or the first speed you observed, that is suppose 100 km per hour. So that is called your initial velocity, and that is u. Okay, that is called your initial velocity, that is u. And when the car, that same car disappeared from your eye, that time its velocity was, suppose it was 120 kilometer per hour. That is called your final velocity. And suppose this change in velocity took place because you observed that car for some time, suppose for half an hour. Okay. So now, if you want to find out the acceleration, so what you will get? Acceleration will be again v minus u by t. And v is how much? V is 120, u is 100, and time is half. So what you are going to get from here? You will get 120 minus 100 is how much? It is 20. And 20 by half. 20 by half means you will reverse it and multiply this. You will get how much? 40 kilometer per hour square. Okay. Like it is meter per second square. Here what you will get, as velocities are in kilometer per hour, so you will get kilometer per hour square. Okay. That is the acceleration. What does it means? It means that in every hour its velocity is going to increase how much? 40 kilometer per hour. That's why in half an hour what happened? It has increased by 20 kilometer per hour, no? Okay. Okay, let me tell you one more thing. Next is uniform acceleration. Okay. When we can say that a body is having uniform acceleration? See, let me explain first and then we can write. Okay. Suppose you have seen a vehicle. Okay. You found that initially at time t is equal to 0. Okay. It was at a rest. Okay. It was at rest. Its velocity was 0. Okay. Then what you found, at time t is equals to 1 second, its velocity was how much? 20 meter per second. Okay. Velocity is in meter per second and time is in seconds. Okay. Now in second you found its velocity is how much? 40 meter per second. In third second you found that its velocity is 60 meter per second. Okay. That's what data you are having. Now what we see from here, in 0 to 1 second, what is the change in velocity? 20 minus 0 upon 1 second, and that is 20 meter per second square. Okay. Why we are getting this 20 meter per second square? You can see here, in every second. See, in this second, how much there's increase in velocity? 20 meter. Again, 40 minus 20, how much you will get? 20. So in second also, 40 minus 20 will give you how much? 20 meter per second. In third second also, 60 minus 40 will give you how much? 20 meter per second. So in each second velocity is increasing by 20 meter per second, and that's why its acceleration is 20 meter per second square. Because what is change in velocity? Change in velocity for each second is 20 meter per second. For each second means per second. Okay. So change in velocity is 20 meter per second per second. And you can write this second by 1. So you can write 20 meter per second into 1 by second. And that will be 20 meter per second square. From here it has come this unit. Okay. Because every second the velocity is changing in, okay, 20 by 20 meter per second. Okay, it is increasing over here. Some other where it may decrease also, but it is increasing by equal amount. When it is increasing by equal amount or decreasing by equal amount, we call it uniform acceleration. Okay. Again the same thing, the time intervals, however small the time intervals may be. So start writing. Okay. When the velocity of a body changes by equal amount in equal intervals of time, comma, however small the intervals may be, comma, then the body is said to have uniform acceleration or constant acceleration. Now see, for uniform acceleration, how can we draw the graph? This is x-axis, this is origin, this is y-axis. Here we have taken time in seconds, here we have taken the velocity in meter per second. Okay, so this gives us the uniform acceleration. Okay, why? Because again you can see in equal time interval you will find equal change in velocity. Okay, okay, so if time interval is equal, then change in velocity also will be equal. Okay, that's why you can say that body is having uniform acceleration. Now on the basis of this, sometimes it may be asked that, no, in the same part we can discuss the question also. Okay, why to draw another graph. See, suppose three bodies are there. Okay, this time we have got a body, suppose P, Q, R. Okay, now question is asked that which has got the maximum acceleration and which has got the least acceleration. So again what you have to do, you have to see this angle which these lines are making with the x-axis. Now which one is making the maximum angle with the x-axis? Obviously P. So P has got the maximum acceleration. If the acceleration of body P is written by AP, then you can write AP is maximum. And then next it is Q, which is making the angle with x-axis it is more than the angle made by R. So you can write acceleration of body Q is less than that of P, and acceleration of body R is even less. So which has got the highest acceleration? Body P has got the highest acceleration. Which has got the least acceleration? Body R has got the least acceleration. This you can determine by seeing the angle which these lines are making with the, or graphs are making with the x-axis. Okay. Okay. So now we come to the next topic, that is non-uniform acceleration. Okay. So when the acceleration of body is non-uniform, means it is not constant. Okay. So that means the velocity of the body is changing, okay, in unequal amount, okay, in equal intervals of time. So two possibilities are there. First, see here, if we take a particular time interval, in this time interval, okay, this much is the change in velocity. If we take the same amount of time interval, even more, okay, so what you'll find, the change in velocity is more. See, this change and this change is more. Time interval is almost same. Again, see, in the same time interval, you find the velocity, change in velocity is increasing. So what it indicates? It indicates that it is case of increasing acceleration. This is case of increasing. Increasing A. A means acceleration. And what about here? See, you take a particular time interval. In that time interval, what you find? This is the change in velocity. Now we take the next time, equal time interval. What you will find? The change in velocity is this much. Okay. You take the next time, equal time interval. What you find? See, change in velocity is this much. You take the other equal time interval. What you find? See, in equal time intervals, the change in velocity is decreasing gradually. What does it indicate? Indicates that it is decreasing acceleration. Okay. This is decreasing acceleration, that is increasing acceleration. Okay. Now see, we are going to discuss some important graphs. Okay. Like see, if you are drawing this is x-axis, this is y-axis. Okay, this is origin. You have taken your time in seconds, obviously, and you have taken here displacement in meter. Okay, and your graph is like this, which is parallel to x-axis. So the question comes, what does this indicate? See, at suppose this is 50 meter mark. So at 0 time it was at 50 meter mark. As the time is increasing, see, it is at the same mark. See, this mark represents the particular distance, displacement. Okay. So see, every point is indicating towards the same displacement. So that means displacement of the body is not changing even with the increasing time. What does it mean? It means that body is at rest. Okay, so this is body is at rest. Okay, but people get confused. How? See, if you've got the similar graph, okay, this is x, this is y, this is the origin. Here you've got time, that is in seconds again. Okay, here you have got velocity, that is in meter per second. That is the change only. Time is okay, only instead of displacement you have got velocity. And here what you found, what does this indicate? This indicates uniform velocity or constant velocity. Here displacement is constant. When displacement is constant, then body is not changing its position, no? So it is at rest. Here the body is having uniform velocity, uniform v, okay, or constant velocity. But here the body is at rest. Now, in the same way, if you look up to the acceleration time graph, suppose this is origin and here you've got velocity, okay, you've got acceleration, meter per second square, and you get a graph like this. Then this is for uniform acceleration. Okay, so in order to study the graph, what is very important, you must see these axes, what is given and what this graph tells you. Unless you don't know how to read the graph, you will face a problem. Okay, so you can go back to class 8 and just the introduction of graph which is given in class 8, you can go through it and make the concept so that it will be helpful to you. Still time is there, but once you reach to class 11th or 12th, no, or 10th onwards, then again what will happen, you cannot go back and see your basics. Okay? So it's better improve now. Okay, see another important graph. Suppose here along x-axis you have got time, along y-axis you have got velocity, and you have got a graph like this. So the question comes, what this area enclosed by OABC represent? That is area of OABC. That is equal to displacement covered by the body. Okay. So if you get a velocity time graph like this and you are asked to find the displacement, then what you will do? You have to just find the area, and value of area is equal to displacement covered. But remember, area has got unit meter square. Don't write meter square. Write the unit of displacement, because numerical value of this is equal to displacement. Okay. That doesn't mean that area is equal to displacement. Clear? Now there is another one. Suppose there is a acceleration which is meter per second square. Okay. Along y-axis. Along x-axis you have got time as usual in seconds. Okay. Here it is origin. Again you have got similar graph. Okay. Now here in the second graph, what does this area OABC represent? Okay. See, for the second graph, what we can say, this represents area of OABC, okay, equals to average velocity. Okay, area of OABC represents average velocity. Okay. Okay. Next topic is retardation or deceleration. Retardation, what is it? The rate of decrease in velocity is called retardation. That means the rate with which, the pace with which the velocity is decreasing. Suppose initial velocity is 100 meter per second, and what you found, after 1 second it became how much? 95. After 2 seconds it became 90. After 3 seconds it became 85. After 4 seconds it became 80. After 5 seconds it became 75. After 6 seconds it became 70. After 7 seconds it became 65. So what you found, in every second how much it is decreasing? 5 meter per second. So 5 meter per second it is decreasing per second. That means once in each second. So 5 meter per second square. That is called retardation. So it is rate of decrease in velocity is called retardation. And it is a vector quantity denoted by minus a. Why? Because see, because velocity is decreasing, that's why we write minus. Okay. We also call it negative acceleration. Okay. And has SI unit meter per second square, like acceleration. And see what we write. Retardation is equals to, actually we write u minus v by t. Acceleration you have seen, it was v minus u by t. Okay, but retardation we write u minus v, because we know that initial velocity will be more than the final velocity in this case, because velocity will decrease. So initial velocity will be more than final. In acceleration, what happens? Anything can happen. Okay, initial can be more, final can be more. If final is more, then it is v minus u by t is there. So what will happen? Acceleration will be positive. If initial is more and final is less, that means velocity is decreasing, then acceleration will come negative. But when you are writing retardation, you have to write it positive. Remember this. Acceleration, when you are writing negative, that means if you are writing, instead of acceleration you are writing retardation, then remove that negative sign, if negative sign is there at all. Okay, so that is there with the retardation. Okay, so that's all for this video. In the next video we will find the derivations of equations of motion. Okay, and we'll write the equations of motion graphically, which is there in your syllabus, and then after that we'll solve all the NCERT questions in the coming 2-3 videos. Okay, and then we will solve some very important or tricky questions also. Okay, with that, thank you to all of you. Take care. Bye bye.